This next to last question, what is the greatest concern for me in my work? That we stop treating each other so poorly, to put it mildly. As both a scholar, as a minister, as a black woman, as a human being, what I do not understand, either in myself or in others, is the way in which we can be so unfair and unjust and inhumane to each other, and so uncaring and unfeeling about our environment and the rest of the creation. And so for me, that's really the passion that really fuels my work, to try and understand why we do that mess, and find ways for myself and for others to stop that. Because this is not the best we can do. This world that we have right now, this country we have right now, is not the best we can do. There is so much more for us to be and live into in this nation and in the whole earth that we just don't do. And I want to be a part of bringing that in. I won't see it all in my generation, but that's not the point. I don't need to see the end. I just need to know that I'm part of working towards it. And that's enough. And that's hard in our society because we like increasingly things in very neat packages that we can say, okay, I finished that task. But for me, as both a scholar and as a person who tries to practice her religion, it's not about seeing tangible gains. It's about being on what I call a magnificent journey. I don't know where it's going, but I know that it's got to help us get away from where we are now, where there's so much suffering in the midst of so much plenty. And that's wrong. That's wrong. But I think that if you and I get together and try and figure out ways to stop it, we can. Because we are very creative as human beings. And so what's important to me as a scholar is bringing those worlds together. The private and the public. The church and the academy. Because I think that so much of the academic study of religion happens as if people aren't there, that people's lives don't matter, that somehow you can make it an extremely objective exercise, and that's not going to have an impact on someone's life. My grandmother said to me once, years ago, she's been gone almost 20 years now, but she said to me years ago, Emilie, your life may be the only chapter of scripture somebody reads. And that just sticks with me, because that says to me that what I do is not just academic, it's not just scholarly, but that if I am doing it well, if I am being faithful, to use that word, if I am being faithful, then I have to have people on my eyeball. I have to be concerned about the implications of what I say. That doesn't mean I don't say it, but that means I've thought it through so that I understand if I say to someone, you need to learn how to be responsible for your own health in a healthcare system that doesn't seem to care much about you, that I realize that that's a tremendous burden to lay on someone when we've been trained not to ask doctors questions about our health, not to sort of dive into learning about whatever illness or wellness we may have. And so when I say it, I need to back it up with, and here's how. And here's what you might encounter, what the forms of resistance. Here are people who might be your allies in the healthcare system. So I just don't make cavalier statements and judgments. And if I do that, if I remember that, then I've been true to what my grandmother said to me so long ago, which I think is true. Sometimes what we do in our most professional lives may be the only time someone hears someone say about them, you matter.